build this in-ground swimming pool for under $3,000. Impossible, you might think? Well, I built this 10 by 20 foot in-ground pool in the year 2014 for only $2,600. This can be accomplished if you're willing to do most of the work yourself. Now I will take you through my process, step by step, on how I constructed it, along with a cost breakdown. Step 1. I hired a backhoe to excavate my backyard, digging up a section slightly larger than the pool dimensions. The pool's deep end is positioned on the downhill slope for easy drainage. Step 2. I installed 4 posts, 1 at each corner. The posts need to be absolutely vertical and very solid. Then, using a simple laser level, I marked exact level lines near the bottom of all 4 posts. Next, I marked a 1-inch increment on all posts all the way up to the top. Step 3. The floor drops about a foot from the shallow end of the pool to the deep end. So I had to dig the footing deeper to maintain a level footing. It is important to get the block exactly level all the way around. Otherwise, the walls can never be level. Another option would be to pour a cement footing. This would require installing many vertical rebars, making it much more difficult later when installing each block. My idea of block footing is much simpler, as you will see in step number 8. Step 4. Each row of blocks should be installed 1 complete row at a time. Tie a string between 2 corner posts at the exact same vertical mark, using it to line up the outside edge of the block wall. When setting block, you should position the block's top edge barely touching the string. This will make a straight row. 2 steel rebars are placed between each layer of block, providing evenness and strength. Overlap rebar ends at least 2 feet when continuing from one rebar to the next. Each row of blocks should be staggered 1/2 block from the previous row for additional strength. Step 5. When making the steps, drill holes in the walls and install rebar for strength. The empty space between each step and wall is filled with wet, compacted sand. I designed the block steps in a 1/4 arc circle. Step 6. I added several inches of sand on the bottom floor prior to installing the rebar. Drill holes in the block walls to accept the 1/2-inch rebar ends. Lay rebar in a crosshatch pattern on the pool floor. Step 7. I installed a 3-inch plastic pipe sweep as a drain pipe, with a threaded fitting located outside of the pool near the right side of the pump house. Next, a 1 1/4-inch PVC pipe is routed to the jets on either side of the pool, as well as to the cleanout for the sweep hose. The cleanout and jet access were all cut with masonry blade in a 4.5-inch grinder. I did make one error, however, as I did not position my cleanout low enough in the wall. Next, I constructed a small pump house at the outside wall at the pool's deep end and installed a 1/2 horse electric pump I purchased from Home Depot. The pump is located behind a filter, which I purchased on eBay. It is a small, used pool filter that had been removed from a hot tub. The filter is a Stay Right Model 50, and it is adequate for this size pool. I placed shutoff valves on each inlet. Step 8. 1/2-inch rebars are cut 5 foot long and inserted vertically in each block cell, about 80 rebars total. Then each block cell was filled with cement to about 1/2 inch from the top. A plastic pipe or metal rod was used to massage up and down in the cement while filling block to be certain of no air gaps. Step 9. The floor was poured in 2 stages. The first stage was 3 inches thick to cover the rebar as a rough coat. Next, a second coat, 2 1/2 inches thick, was poured afterwards for additional strength and smoothness. Step 10. I made 2 simple wood forms that were used to pour the coping at the top. The top row of blocks had not been filled to the top in order to allow additional space for the coping cement to bond securely. It took me several weeks to install all of the coping, about 2 per day, using both forms so we could work in both directions around the top of the pool. Step 11. The block seams were coated with a blue moisture sealer prior to the cement coat. We then applied cement, mixed 50-50 with fine sand, and coated the inside of the pool walls to cover the seams and to make the inside reasonably smooth. Step 12. I purchased on the internet blue glass tile for the trim and the bench seat. A little research on the web resulted in finding a closeout price on just enough tile for the pool at about 75 cents a square foot. Tile was applied with standard tile adhesive. White grout was applied next as a 2-part epoxy mix purchased from Lowe's. Step 13. Marcite, which is a special coating for pools, was applied over 2 days. I had learned that this application is critical, so I elected to hire professionals to perform this task. The walls were coated with 1/2 inch thick Marcite on the first day, the floor and steps on the second day. The pool finish was then sprayed afterwards with a garden sprayer containing muriatic acid to remove impurities in the finished coat. While the pool walls appear to be white, the Marcite coating contains tiny blue glass fragments embedded, which reflects blue in the water when the pool is full. Step 14. Here's a breakdown of what the material cost to build my pool.